9 o'clock, it's that time for the press on KAFTAN television. Thank you so much for joining us. Can I say happy Eid, happy public holiday, happy rest time at home, happy long weekend, happy Bombo, as in Yoruba they say. My name is MIKKY. It's a pleasure bringing you the press this morning on KAFTAN television. Okay, today we're going to have a whole lot. It's a loaded package. So, you really, I know you're relaxing at home, having the public holiday and all that, but you really have to pay attention because it's going to be good for you the time you invest in the press this morning. Let me take our usual segments, but it might be abridged so that way we'll be able to hook up to our correspondent far away somewhere. I'll let you know in just a moment. Let me just start with the weather so that way, if you plan to go out for this public holiday, you'll know what the weather is like before you step out. Let me start with Lagos. Lagos, right now, I will tell you from the weather report, it is raining. Rainy conditions and in Lagos from 9 o'clock, which is just right now. Wind gusts very low at 7 kilometers per hour. Lagos is posting 26 degrees Celsius. It's going to be a partly cloudy day after the rains go down. The sun mightn't come up again. The low temperature we're expecting for Lagos is 25 degrees Celsius. The high temperature we're expecting for Lagos, 30 degrees Celsius. This wonderful Salah morning, Monday, 9th of June. Okay, so if you are in Lagos, stay indoors. If you're planning to step out now, from the weather prediction, it is raining. Rainy conditions predicted right about now. That's Lagos. Okay, from Lagos, let's run over and see what the weather is like in Benin. Benin this morning, again, rainy conditions, this time expected from 2 o'clock, so you have at least the morning. Then from 2, you can hop back into bed and have a nap. Wind gusts also very low at 8 kilometers per hour. It's mostly cloudy with a high temperature, 31 and a low 23. Let's see what it's like over in Port Harcourt. Port Harcourt too, rain, go away. Rain is not going away today though, because in Port Harcourt you're going to have rain falling from 1. That's the weather prediction for today. We have low wind gusts of 7 kilometers per hour, a high temperature of 30, a low of 24. Let's go further north and see what the weather is like in Kaduna. In Kaduna, it's also same 24 degrees Celsius average as Benin, only that rain is expected from 4 o'clock this afternoon, so even hot, sunny Kaduna is expecting rain today. Wind gusts are high at 13 kilometers per hour. The high temperature today will be 31 as we look at what it's like in Kano. Kano is 2 degrees higher, 26 degrees Celsius, with a very high temperature recording today of 35 degrees. However, it's going to be a mostly sunny day, but around 2, there'll be some clouds, but no rain. Wind gusts are high at 15 kilometers per hour, and the lowest temperature today is 1 degree less at 25 degrees Celsius. Our last port of call is going to be Abuja Municipal. That's where we are, the federal capital. Let's see, in Abuja Municipal this morning, we have partly cloudy conditions setting around now, so it is very cloudy truly outside. The highest temperature, though 31, might feel a bit hot, like it's 33. That will be from 2 o'clock on. It's going to be, get this feeling of heat around Abuja. However, the low temperature today is quite low at 23 degrees Celsius. And the high temperature today, 31 degrees Celsius. However, it's 24 degrees Celsius now on average. That's the average recorded temperature. But the weather report says that it's going to feel like it's 28, which means throughout today, it's going to feel a little hotter than it actually is till around 2 o'clock when the clouds will come in and give us some relief in the Federal Capital Territory. So everywhere else I told you about, expect rain, 1 o'clock, some areas, 4 o'clock, 2 o'clock. However, this afternoon, right up to Kaduna, 4 o'clock, expect some rain. So if you plan to go out for the Salah, you might want to make it a morning or a mid-morning outing. If you are in Lagos, you might have to cancel it. It is predicted to be raining right this moment. Alright, that's as much as we have on the weather desk this morning. Okay, so what is going to happen now is that we are going, today is still part of Salah, part of the Eid. So we are going to join our special correspondent all the way in Saudi Arabia. Yes, he's going to be joining us virtually, and they're going to give us updates, blow-by-blow account of the Hajj ceremony and what it's like in Saudi Arabia now. Don't forget there's a time difference, but they have decided to defy the time difference just to make sure you have a live conversation on what's going on in Saudi Arabia. So just stay right where you are. When we come back, we'll be joined by our special correspondent reaching us live virtually from the Holy Land. Stay with us. You're welcome back. So glad that you're there with us. And if you're just joining, you are just in time on the press for us to bring you the front pages of the newspaper headlines. Immediately after that, we will be reconnecting, or let me say connecting, with our special correspondent in Saudi Arabia. So right now, let's just take a look at what is on the front covers of the newspapers today to bring you up to speed with the news wherever you are this lovely public holiday. Let me start with the Daily Sun. The Daily Sun this morning is talking about the PDP. It says PDP leaders lament over crisis. Crisis, and you're lamenting, you need to be fixing the crisis really quickly. It says here, hope on August convention to save the party. Okay, so that means everything hinges on the convention, which date has finally been set for August. And so that's the hope of what they're going to do to save the party. Let's hope that goes according to their hope. Okay, let me go from the Daily Sun over to the Daily Trust. The Daily Trust this morning says 2027 division in Tinubu's base. 2027 division in Tinubu's base. Wow. On top of that, but below the masthead, you have ACF to President, prioritize governance over re-election. We have your Democracy Day, President to address joint session of NAS. We'll bring you more details of that as the program goes on. Naval officer stabbed to death in Kaduna. What a pity. We have your Hajj. How 7 Nigerian pilgrims died in Saudi Arabia. Oh dear, may the souls of the dearly departed rest in perfect peace. As we go from the Daily Times to Nigerian Tribune. A lot of the papers have this front cover giant wrap advertorial, so those that have it will just take the news stories above their masthead, such as the Tribune has. So we'll just go over to the 2 stories here. Quite important actually. These stories are like public warnings. We have SEC warns public against investing in Punisher coin and spam. So if you see an advert calling for investment, it's going to give you all that and that and that, Punisher coin, run away from it. Spam, run away from it. That is coming from SEC. The Security and Exchange Commission of Nigeria is saying, do not invest in them. Read my lips, it's a Ponzi scheme. That's what it's trying to say. Okay, we have another story. Tinubu to confer national honors on select lawmakers. Wow. Let me see. To attend NAS special joint sitting on Thursday. That's on page 4 of this morning's Nigerian Tribune newspaper. From the Tribune, let's look at other papers this morning. Let's take a look at the Blueprint. The Blueprint this morning is also has that advert, but above it says here, we're not where we want to be, but economy is back on track. Bagudu is saying the Nigerian economy is back on track. That's coming from the Blueprint. It depends on the angle you are looking at it from. From there, let's see the Matrix newspaper this morning. The lead story is still Senator Ali Ndume. We have here 2027 again, 2027. 2027, Ndume reignites hostility with President Tinubu. Ndume reignites hostility with President Tinubu over 2027. Let me bring you the riders. Says Nigerians doubt President's renewed hope agenda. Like Tinubu, 22 governors endorsed Jonathan, yet he lost the re-election. That's on page 2. Let's see, there are so many other stories that we'll see from the bottom across. Family reveals why music icon Mike Ejeagha was buried within 24 hours. When should he have been buried? Within 90 hours. Atiku's ally Show's meeting with Tinubu sparks political buzz. That's on page 9. Now, if you are an ardent follower of the press, you will recall that we did have Chief Sheku Shomi right here live in these studios, and he talked extensively about the need for a new movement, a critical mass of voters, of Nigerians in no political party to try and make their voices heard about what they want governance to be. Now, he has paid a visit to the president, and in the news today is Atiku's ally, because he was Atiku's former spokesperson. Atiku's ally Shomi meeting with Tinubu sparks political buzz. So what's the buzz? You want to pick up a copy of the Matrix and find out more details. We have a sports story also on the Matrix this morning. Ronaldo scores as Portugal win Nations League after victory over Spain. No stopping Ronaldo, my goodness. Victory over Spain. Portugal winning Nations League. You see his picture there after scoring with the cup, the Nations League Cup. Congratulations. Alright, let's go further up. Democracy Day. Federal government declares Thursday, June 12th a public holiday. Wow. So it's another public holiday. Just as you're enjoying today's own, another one is coming up for you this week. That's on page 2. Wow, wow, wow. Let's see the other stories. He's my father. Leader Sanwo-Olu dismisses rumored rift with Tinubu. That's on page 3. We have these writers. Here's President at commissioning of new train sets for Blue Line. AU-backed agency rejects fish ratings. Downgrade of Afrexim Bank. Okay, let's leave that and go over to the Vanguard newspapers. The front cover of the Vanguard says Sanwo-Olu in the news. Tinubu to Sanwo-Olu, your sins are forgiven. Wow, that's on page 10. It says here, as GAC visits president in Lagos. Hardship. Nigerians cut spending on foreign travels by 30%. That's on page 19. Let's go over and look at this morning's Punch newspaper. Ground rent. 34 embassies risk closure Tuesday. So that tomorrow, when the public holiday ends, some of our embassies who have not paid their ground rent might be closed. It's on page 2. Let me see the names of some of them. The FCTA probes PDP, FIRS, others payments. Okay, we've known about that of the PDP. Tinubu approved extension ends today. Today is the last day of the extension. We have Germany, we have Russia, we have Turkey on the defaulters list. Oh my goodness. So if you have an appointment at any of these embassies, come aware that the ground rent hasn't been paid, so you may or may not find it open. My goodness. Okay, let's go over and look at this morning's Liberty newspaper. The Liberty newspaper this morning is bringing an Eid message. So it's an Eid message. APC prioritizes 2027 re-election over hunger and insecurity. Wow, that's coming from the Iowa Consultative Forum, ACF. They are saying that the All Progressives Congress prioritizes 2027 re-election over hunger, over insecurity. Let's see more stories. Democracy Day. Federal government declares Thursday public holiday. States can't spend local government funds. Federal government is telling the Supreme Court. Alright, it's on that note. Let me see. Join APC. Stop playing hide and seek game. Matawale tells his governor, Governor Lawal. Still stories about 2020, 2027 all through. Alright, it's on that note. We've come to the end of that segment, which is a glance, a peep at the morning's newspaper. But we have one special paper we're going to take this morning. Like I said, it's very good to stay with the press. Exactly a week ago on Monday, a Monday like this, we had live in this studio Dr. Tanko Yakasai, and he spoke extensively, ran us through all the matrices of the 2 years of the Tinubu administration. Well, this morning, Dr. Yakasai is on the front cover of the Nation newspapers. He is talking extensively about the coalition against Tinubu. Says categorically here, why coalition against Tinubu will fail. by Yakasai. It's above this advertorial. Those are the three stories we have, and his is a picture story, so you see him right there, you recognize him. If you've been following the press, especially the Monday press, you see that why coalition against Tinubu will fail by Yakasai. The guest we had right here in this studio, Dr. Tanko Yakasai. And you want to pick up a copy of today's newspaper, The Nation, on page 4. You find out all the details. Other stories we have here: domestic forex inflow highest in 6 years. CBN gives validation. We have here as well Alaka in Australia varsity over mining partnership. It's on page 2. Security firm joins forces with Navy on Ondo waterways. Okay, the rest of the paper has the advert, so we mightn't want to take that. Okay, I think it's time now for us to try and join our Saudi correspondent. So just give us a quick time out. Let us do the technicalities, put it on, and then we'll be right back. And hopefully we'll be in Saudi live. All right, stay where you are. Thank you very much. Glad to know you are still there. If you're just joining, you're on to KAFTAN television, this beautiful public holiday morning, still in the Salah celebratory mood. It's the 9th day of June 9, 2025. In a couple of days, we'll be celebrating another public holiday, June 12. Yes, that's what Democracy Day was moved from May 29, and it's now going to be celebrated nationwide on the 12th of June. So you have a week full, in fact 2 weeks, starting from last week up to this week, of public holidays, of relaxation, of time out with the family, of time to stay at home, except those of us who do not have public holidays. But that's just how it is. Some people have to get the work out there. Yes, and it's a pleasure bringing you. My name is MIKKY, ATTAH, and this is KAFTAN Television, the press. This morning we have looked at the weather, and we have been assured that it's raining right now in Lagos. Good, it's a public holiday. It is always nice when you don't have to go out and then it rains. It's always unpleasant when you have to go out in the rain. Yeah, so that's nice for those in Lagos. The rest, like I told you, it's going to rain this afternoon. So if you had any outings planned, you want to end them earlier on in the day. We also looked at the front pages of today's newspapers, a lot of them with a lot of adverts, because we're having May 29 dovetail actually into June 12th. So there's a lot of pictorial stories and adverts, advertisements talking about the 2 years of the Tinubu administration, which now is going to be celebrated. It occurred on the 29th of May, but it's going to be celebrated now on the 12th of June, which has been declared a public holiday. Now, I must tell you that on the 12th of June, there is an announcement from the National Assembly. The National Assembly, in fact, some of the newspaper headlines captured it, that there's going to be a joint session of the NAS, and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to be present. Well, the details, it says that the House of Representatives is going to participate in a special joint sitting of the National Assembly. Okay, the leadership and the honorable members of the House of Representatives will participate in a special joint sitting of the National Assembly. It's going to be on Thursday, June 12th, 2025, to commemorate this year's Democracy Day celebration. So the commemoration is going to take place in the building of the National Assembly, and it's tagged Democracy Day celebration, and it's going to be this Thursday, like in the next 3 days. Now, this special joint session is scheduled to hold in the House of Reps chamber of the National Assembly complex. Okay, it's commencing at 11 o'clock in the morning, and the preliminary proceedings will happen ahead of the arrival of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is expected to arrive the premises at 12 noon. Okay, proceedings start at 11:12. If everything goes according to schedule, the president will arrive. Now, the theme for this year's celebration is 26 years of democracy 26 years of democracy, renewing our commitment to national development. Let me take the theme again. 26 years of democracy, renewing our commitment to development. Okay. So President Tinubu is expected to attend the occasion as special guest of honor, no less, and he will deliver a presidential address to the joint sitting. So Thursday is a very busy day. It's a public holiday for those of us for those who will be at home, and for the President, for the National Assembly, it's going to be a very, very busy day indeed. Well, we have it. Okay, you have it right there on the front page of the Liberty about the special joint session. That's what's going to happen. The joint session is to commemorate this year's Democracy Day, which will be celebrated this time on June 12, 2025. And like I said, the theme is 26 years of democracy, renewing our commitment to national development. Okay, that was what we had on the Liberty newspapers. We have FG declares Thursday public holiday. We also have it, I think, on we have it on, let me see. Right, it's on the Daily Trust. If you look at the front page of the Daily Trust, we had, yes, the headline in the center there, above the banner headline, Democracy Day, President to address joint session of NAS. President to address joint session of NAS. So that's the joint session. He's going to be the special guest of honor. Now, if you also go over and we have a recap of today's Nigerian Tribune newspaper, you'll see where we have it at the top left headline, where it says Tinubu to confer national honors on select lawmakers. Wow, who are the select lawmakers? Well, the story is on page 4 there. To attend NAS special joint sitting. The special joint sitting, like we said, is to commemorate this year's democracy move to June 12, and also to, or like I said, to give some special national awards to some select lawmakers as well. He's going to give a presidential address at the joint sitting, which is to commence at 11 o'clock with some preliminary activities, and then the president is expected to arrive the House of Representatives chambers where it's taking place. The special joint sitting is taking place, and he's expected at 12 noon. So KAFTAN television should be able to bring you all the details as the day unfolds. Right, I'm being told right now that we've been able to connect to Saudi Arabia. So good, we're over here. Good morning. Let me just say welcome, Umar. Welcome. It's a pleasure. Happy Salah. You are welcome indeed. Right. I want to give kudos to our technical crew. It was quite a challenge to get you, but we've seen you. You are looking different already. Okay, that is Al-Haji. Can I call him Al-Haji already? Yes, he has performed all he needs to perform. So I'll call it Al-Haji Umar Gombe. He is KAFTAN Television's special correspondent, reaching us all the way from Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Sanda Zura. Sanu. Eid Mubarak. You are welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. So what I want you to do, run us down the procedure. What are the steps that you have to take as a Muslim pilgrim if you're performing the Hajj?
Mother Mickey, good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
If you can hear me, I just want you to give us step by step. What does a Muslim pilgrim have to do in order to successfully perform the Hajj? What do you have to do there?
It is already today is 12th day of already pilgrims have completed their Hajj activities of this year, starting from tawaf, which is the this is the tawaf in Mecca, and then we proceed to Mina for 3 days.
We proceed to where?
We proceed to Arafat.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So after the day of Arafat, and the following day, we proceed to Muzdalifah, where pilgrims slept at the just open ground, nothing like tent in Arafat and all of that. So after the Muzdalifah, all the pilgrims proceeded to Mina, where we spent 3 days there stoning the shaitan, that is Jamarat. So after then, yesterday...
What are you stoning? What are you stoning? Is it like a depiction of the devil or something bad? What are you stoning?
It's shaitan. It's
Satan.
Shaitan.
Okay.
We say Jamarat. That's Jamarat with the 7 small stones.
Okay.
To complete that is the first day, second day, and third day. So the pilgrim to do that to complete his Hajj activities.
Okay. So what's the next step after that?
Next step is almost yesterday and today, the pilgrims are coming down to Mecca. Almost all of the pilgrims, about 1.7 million pilgrims are in Mecca now.
Wow.
Their Hajj operation by doing the tawaf in the Kaaba. That is the final activity of this year.
Okay. Do you have any idea how big is the Nigerian contingent?
Exactly. This year, let me begin by giving you the whole number and describing the whole Hajj. This is the crowd.
Yeah, go ahead.
This year is the lowest top in the 30 years, because in the previous years we have gotten about 2-something million pilgrims, but this year is only 1.6 million 730 pilgrims all over the world. That is the low turnout. So this year the authority of Saudi Arabia took that action to control the crowd.
Okay.
In that Mina where I told you, coming from Muzdalifah to go to the Mina and stone the shaitan, there were a very loud crowd where people are having to have to compete.
Yes, yes.
People are killed, died through this story. Because there's a million of people there. So this year, they reduced the crowd. They reduced the number of pilgrims to 1.6-something million worldwide. But Nigerian pilgrims are only 63,000. Only 63,000 is not Saudi Arabia giving to Nigeria. And successfully, the Nigerian government and the National Hajj Commission, which is NACON, under the leadership of Professor Saleh Abdullah Osman, they successfully lifted all the pilgrims from Nigeria to Saudi Arabia without casualty, without any harmful and all of that.
Glory to God.
Until the accommodation the Nigerian government arranged and just put up the Nigerian pilgrims there is very close to the mosque of the Haram in Medina. So, and exactly what happened in Mecca here, pilgrims are very close to the Kaaba where they can go and come back. I think there is no any report that say pilgrims are treated badly here in terms of accommodation, in terms of food, in terms of health care. I think all Hajj Commission have taken the major step to avoid any complaints from the pilgrims.
Oh, that's good to know. Alhaji Umar, I'll be calling you Alhaji Umar now. Well, you told me you are not alone over there. You have Alhaji Naziru El-Hikaya. Can we get to speak with him? Because our time is, what we have to manage. Can we speak to him as well?
Exactly. He is almost, I think, close to me here.
Okay, beautiful. Please. Like you can see from the footage, he's live reaching us from Mecca in Saudi Arabia. That's our special correspondent, Al-Haji, we'll call him, Al-Haji Umar Gombe, special correspondent, reaching us from Mecca, the Holy Land, where he's gone as part of the Nigerian contingent to perform this year's Hajj in Mecca. So we also want to speak to another pilgrim, Nazir El-Kaya. So he's a Nigerian, he's also in Mecca, and we're trying to see how we can get Al-Haji Umar to enable us to speak to him and get his perspective on the performance of this year's Hajj. Okay? Right. Al-Haji says to give him a minute. We want to make sure we have more people, more voices. So as he's trying to get to where Nazir El-Hikaya is at the moment, we'll just tell you, like he said, the rundown, the step-by-step rundown of what it takes to get to the stage where you would have successfully completed your pilgrimage. Worthy of note is the fact that there's some point where everybody's going to sleep outside in the open. I'm curious. I'm going to ask him when he comes back on. Are women included in that program, or whoever you are, once you're eligible for pilgrimage, you go sleep out in the open and participate in those prayers? Well, let's see how that goes. I'm going to ask him that, as well as find out a little more about what it is like for a pilgrim, especially for a Nigerian pilgrim. Well, he has said so far so good. Accommodations fine, feeding, welfare. However, sadly, we had the newspaper headline telling us that we lost about 6 Nigerians in the course of this year's pilgrimage. They lost their lives in Saudi Arabia. Right. Okay. Alhaji Nazir El-Hikaya. Can I call you Alhaji? You have successfully completed all the proceedings. Well, over here, good morning. I will say good morning. Thank you for joining.
Thank you very much. Good morning. And we are really, as you can see, even before you asked me, I am very happy.
Beautiful. We're happy for you. Okay, Nazir El-Hikaya is one of us in the pen pushers profession. He has successfully completed the procedures in Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Now, give us a feel. What is it like in Saudi Arabia? Or are you just constricted to taking part in the activities for the pilgrimage? Do you get a feel? Do you get to go to town and do some shopping and see places of interest as well?
Yeah. I don't think I would like you to repeat the question. Maybe I did not hear you well.
All right. All right. I was asking, can you get into town and do some shopping and do some sightseeing and see other places apart from the step-by-step procedure you have to do for the pilgrimage?
Yeah, very good. Actually, I would say this year has been from last year. Last year there was no need to buy anything because all what we are trying when you buy in Saudi Arabia, the things even in Saudi Arabia are very exorbitant. Nothing is so much easy. And also, the basic travel allowance is so meager.
Yes.
That one may more likely, if you try to buy like something like how we used to buy before, at the end of the day, you will end up having nothing in your pocket. Therefore, it's very advisable that somebody to keep his money until like it remains 1 week to the day he will be back to Nigeria before you start to buy anything. Therefore, we only eat, when you see us just going out, we only go to buy some clothes, some foods and other things of that nature. But actually, this year, and even from last year, the scholars and other stakeholders usually ask Nigerians or the contingents to be very careful in what they buy. If you compare Nigerian currency, government of exchange rate, you find out that what you have told there, it is even better to go back to Kenya and buy it. You don't come back to Abuja and buy it if you compare the prices here. Therefore, at the end of the day, we are going to buy a little, not much. If you, all the pilgrims if you can find out, all the pilgrims in Nigeria usually get around $500.
$500? That's meager.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. $500 for an adult outside the country is rather meager.
Yeah, it's very meager. That is what usually the pilgrim, the stakeholders usually give. Because if to say they will just give much, I don't think the Hajj may likely be around 11 billion naira. That one, only if you can afford to come. Many years back, we usually send like 95,000 contingents to Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
From the government alone. Now, it's hardly you can find more than 6,000 to 50,000 pilgrims. Therefore, there is no need for pilgrims to be buying. I don't even see them buying anything. Usually they only eat food, they rest, they go to mosque and pray, and apart from that one, they don't usually do anything. $500 is something very big, as I said before. Therefore, if you don't get that kind of money, you only need to keep yourself very happy, just buy food. Even though they usually give food here inside the accommodation of pilgrims. If you just go out, like an issue of transport, to transport yourself from your accommodation to the mosque, you need to pay. And even the payments of the transport is very exorbitant. It's nothing to, it is something to worry about, actually, the transport. Therefore, the pilgrims themselves are not buying. You can see them. To say that we are going to go around and show you where the pilgrims are going, you will believe me that they are not buying anything. Unlike before, you can use lot and lots of gifts to come back home and share to friends and loved ones.
And that will not make you stop from bringing my gift. I'm expecting my gift. You still bring my gift. All right.
If there is no any donor, you can get your gift.
Alright. Okay, Nazika, thank you very much for your perspective. But essentially, on the overall, the Nigerian pilgrims are being well taken care of, and they're comfortable and they're all doing very well, right?
Exactly, they are doing very well. Only few of them so far died. There are some pilgrims that already died, actually, because this is a tradition every year. When they come to Saudi Arabia, some of them they have some chronic illnesses. When you have a chronic illness, I doubt much because of how hard this work is. Well, if you are not very well, I advise you not to come to Hajj.
Absolutely. That's spot on. I would agree with you with that 100%. But may the souls of the dearly departed rest in perfect peace. Thank you very much, Nazir Hikaya. Can you just hand us now back to Alhaji Umar so that we can hear from him as well? Thank you for your perspective. God bless you. Okay, we've been speaking to Alhaji Nazir Hikaya, who is reaching us live from Mecca in Saudi Arabia, and we are back to our special correspondent talking about Alhaji Umar Gombe. Alhaji Umar, you are shining, even the screen, you are glittering. By the time you come back, we will recognize you. Alhaji, my gifts. I don't want to hear Esther code and BTA and $500 or dollars. My gift. Pack it and bring it. So, Haji Umar.
Oh,
thank you. Okay, thank you. Alhaji Umar, you said something that is really germane and touching. You said that in times previous, every time they had that aspect of the pilgrimage, there was a stampede and people died. You know, people got trampled upon and died. But the Saudi officials were very proactive. This time around, they limited the number of people, country to country, limited the total, and then were able to manage that passage successfully so that not one single soul lost their lives this year. I mean, we need to give kudos and, thumbs up to the Saudi Arabian officials and authorities, to the government, to the royalty, to the kingdom, to the king. This is just a wonderful development, and the outcome is there for everybody to see. Nobody lost their life. Please, let me have your take on that.
The Saudi authorities already took a very good action. I think there was about 40,000 police officers, expert police officers in crowd control had attended the pilgrimage. More than 40,000 there to take care to avoid this stampede that killed many people last year. As my colleagues say, there is some few Nigerian pilgrims died in Mecca this year, about 3 or 4.
There's 6. We have the report.
And the heat, higher temperature there.
Yes.
The temperature this year in Saudi Arabia is about 448 point something degrees. So
48 point something degrees. Wow.
48. Yeah.
Whoa, that is hot.
So there is so much heat. That's why the pilgrims are all advised to drink water as much as possible, to carry umbrellas, and there is also a Saudi authorities who are going separating water on top of people's heads to reduce this
dehydration.
To enable the pilgrims to perform their Hajj successfully. But Alhamdulillah, we lost only 3 or 4 people. I don't know the actual number, but I think at the end of the operations, National Hajj Commission will come with the all record of who died. And this year, there is always one violation of giving birth in Saudi Arabia here from Nigeria, only one person. But in the previous years, Nigerians are always violating this because Saudi authorities doesn't want the women who are getting almost this kind of month, 7th, 8th month, close to giving birth to come to Saudi Arabia to perform Hajj. One woman from Zamfara, she gave birth. I think only the violation we met, and of course there is one woman pilgrim from Plateau who returned $5,000. It's one pilgrim lost.
Yes.
He returned to the authorities about $5,000.
Yes. We highlighted it on the press the day it happened, and she's a teenager, and that girl has done Nigeria proud. We were so happy with the news. We spread it here. We were rejoicing on the press that morning. Kudos to her.
Exactly.
And in fact,
the number of Nigerian problems is always increasing. And Nigerians now are among the best countries who are organizing their safety, because the Hajj Commission, as I told you earlier, they provided several committees like clerics, that is Ulama committee,
okay.
There is medical team committee, there is journalist committee, and there is many committees who are guiding and protecting the pilgrims of hardship, or to provide a needful to them always.
Okay. Alhaji Umar, what exactly is the spiritual significance of the Hajj? I know it's one of the 5 pillars of Islam, but maybe you could just give us a breakdown.
I can tell you is the unity and love, because all these millions of 1.7 million people coming from all over, if you match somebody, they say no problem. So no fight, no anything harmful, and this harmony, love and unity. That is I think the major significance of having this kind of crowd and at one place, and they finish the activity successfully and get back to their various countries.
Oh, I wanted to ask, the part where you have to sleep outside, yeah? Everybody must be outside, no tent and everything. Do women participate? Or whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, everybody has to participate?
Yeah, it's a combined gender, but only they differentiate the women's and male section, female in the tent. Like Arafat Day and all 3 days that I mentioned,
yes.
In Mina, women tents are different from the men tent, and always they are being monitored, they are being guided, they are being protected.
Okay. What if you went with your spouse? Will you still have to stay in a separate place? Like a husband and wife?
Sometimes if you go with your wife, you apply it and they accept your application, they will give you a separate room where you can join, you can stay together with your wife,
spouse,
like in Medina and in Mecca. But in Arafat, in Mina, nothing like giving the spouse a special room or a special tent to live.
Wow.
Women are in the one side, men are in the one side.
Fantastic. Wow. The philosophy is so real, because at the end of the day, your salvation is yours. It's you that will die and go and meet your Creator. No, it's not me and my husband. It's not me and my wife. It's you and your God. So, that's a wonderful one. We've learned so much. Is there anything else you want us to learn? Tell us. Is there anything else? Like, for the rest of this period, what are you going to be doing before you come back? What are you going to be doing now, the rest of this period, before you come back?
I don't think there is a major activity left behind, because we have completed all our activities of this year.
Yes.
I think only is the preparation for going back to Nigeria. But I think Nigerians pilgrims start going back to Nigeria on 13th. That is the day after the democracy that I heard you are talking about.
All right.
This 13th pilgrims start coming back. That's first come, first go.
Okay.
So the people that come first, National Hajj Commission organize the very good conduct in taking them first. As you come first and you go back first.
Okay. So has it ever happened nobody gets left behind, right? Everybody comes back. Do some people abscond?
Sorry?
Do some people run away, or has it happened everyone who left came back?
Nothing like this. Yes, nothing like this. There is a report that Saudi authorities have discovered about 200 fake visas from many countries, but not in Nigeria. Nigeria has no have any record of coming to Saudi Arabia without a very genuine visa procedures to the pilgrims, to the pilgrimage.
I want to ask you this question though, because we had that topic in Matters Arising, our program here. Sheikh Gumi was returned from this year's edition of the Hajj with a whole lot of reports about him being linked to terror groups in Nigeria. So why was it so comfortable for Nigeria to let him go over to Saudi, where he has spent 6 months in jail previously for the same charges? It's very comfortable for him over here, but over there he's identified as somebody with links to terror.
I think I will join you with the Nasir Elikaya, who has been coming about more than 10 times, I think about 15 times coming to Hajj performing.
Yes.
In the past 15 years.
Yes.
I think he is in position to answer this.
Okay.
Repeat the question.
Alhaji Umar is a big politician. Okay. Now Alhaji Naziru Elikaya, your friend, your political friend ran away from answering the question. Well, it's in the public space, so it's known that Sheikh Gumi was returned from performing this same Hajj that you are on right now. He was parceled back from Saudi Arabia on grounds of his links to terror groups. Before this, some years ago, he was arrested and jailed. He spent 6 months in jail in Saudi Arabia over these same charges of links to terror. So, what's your comment on the actions of the Saudi authorities? And why is he so comfortable in Nigeria, where we don't have any charges of him being linked to terror groups?
The problem is not linked to any terrorism, and that is the problem. I think this time around, even the Sheikh himself, what he said, Sheikh Gumi linked what happened to him to the recent comments on the visit of the President of the United States of America. Recently, when Donald Trump came to meet the Middle East, he visited Saudi Arabia, and there were some engagements of billions of dollars. So therefore, Sheikh Gumi condemned not only Saudi Arabia but also some Arab countries, that rather than them to take care of what is happening with the Palestine, what is happening between Hamas and the Israel, they decided to honor and respect President Donald Trump. That was the reason why he was stopped from entering this country. That's history of all that story of something to be linked to terrorism or any charge against to do with terrorism is not true.
Okay, that's the one of this year. How about the time where he was charged, found guilty, and arrested and jailed for 6 months in Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, that one was before. So that one was.
Okay, that one was before.
That one was over, and even if you said he was jailed, if he was jailed or detained for some time, so that one was over.
All right.
And he was released accordingly, and he came back to Nigeria. Okay. But actually, what happened recently is because it was linked to his own comments. He is a critical analyst, or is criticizing Saudi Arabia that it is not taking care with the brothers in Palestine. What is happening between Israel and the Hamas? The children are dying, the women are dying on a daily basis. So rather than when the President of the United States, President Donald Trump, came to Saudi Arabia, rather than to discuss the problem in Palestine.
Oh. Well, that has been a live conversation with our special correspondent coming all the way from Mecca in Saudi Arabia, talking about, we can call him Al-Hajj, Umar Gombe. Umar Gombe, thank you very much for your perspectives and for letting us have a feel of what it's like to be a pilgrim performing the pillar of Islam, which is in your lifetime, and if you can afford it, to go out to Mecca and Saudi Arabia for the holy pilgrimage. We also like to thank you, Nazir Al-Hikaya, who spoke to last. He is actually a Nigerian journalist. He's a veteran of pilgrimages in Mecca and Saudi Arabia, and we want to thank you very much for joining us live here on KAFTAN Television and the Press this morning. Can we really squeeze in a couple of phone calls before we call it a day today? Maybe, yeah, the phone numbers are up, so if you can really be quick and hit the numbers. I'll just take one or two calls because we're actually winding down this morning, so you have to be really fast. Like you heard, there's another public holiday coming up, back-to-back public holidays. Some people had traveled and planned to come back. I don't know what you're going to do. Are you going to stay on, or are you going to go and come back? Well, there's going to be a public holiday coming up on Thursday, which is June 12th, next 3 days. That's to mark this year's Democracy Day, like we told you. And there's going to be a special joint sitting of the National Assembly. It's going to take place in the House of Representatives chamber of the National Assembly complex that morning, 11 a.m. preliminary proceedings. 12 noon, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is expected to walk in and give them a presidential address on 26 years of democracy. Let me see, the theme is it's a special sitting with the theme 26 years of democracy, renewing our commitment to national development. Renewing the commitment to national development. I hope it's going to be shown live. Nigerians will be able to see and hear, as well as find out who are those special lawmakers that are going to be conferred with the national award. Sometimes you wonder, how come it's the politicians that are getting these national awards? Are politicians performing so well nationally that they are the ones garnering all the national awards? Well, there's some more. We're going to get some special awards, and we'll get to find out on Thursday morning who these people really are. All right, so the number is there, one lucky caller, and then we're going to have to call it a day this morning. So if you are on hand, quickly take the number from the screen. All right. Like I said, it's the 9th day of June 9, 2025. What could be the significance of 9? Anyway, June 12th, as you know, is the D-Day we look on to. And that's on a Thursday. It's going to be another public holiday. I hope you're enjoying your Eid. I hope you had a whole lot of Salah ram. I had so much Salah ram. It was criminal. I ate ram, more meat than rice this time around. It was something else. Okay, we have our first caller. Oh my goodness, I lost the call. Please do well to call back. Let's have the number there. We just want to have our first and last caller because time is really winding down. So I hope you had a whole lot of Salah ram to eat because it was all festivities this time after all, the prayers and the activities. Hello, good morning. Morning, sir. You're our first caller. I'm probably going to wrap up the show, so make it short and sweet. Make it really sweet.
Okay, this is Ade from Port Harcourt.
This is
Ade from Port Harcourt.
Hello, Ade. Happy Salah.
How's the family? I wonder.
Okay.
What I want to ask you, I don't know what you have been celebrating for this the medical issue. Because I don't see anything. Everything, nothing is moving. Everything just past this. It's always go back. It's just so it's going back. I don't know why. because I don't even see any hope. And I don't know something can change this in the next 2 years. I don't see it. Because there's nothing moving well. Nothing economy, everything, security, everything, everybody is dying every day by day. Yeah, everybody die finish, that this one wake up. Oh, let the man come on television. Let me hear the people you are ruling. Let me know our voice. You don't they say they're not going to lie for you for so on. Like, you know when you hear something by yourself, and remember the good luck, you go to China. Don't tell us your feelings. Tell me when you should be address it. Tell us don't go what just say you are ruling somebody. So good. After one China like that, you don't know that 6 months. You know your people. So you have to know because don't make it all of them like for you. That's everything scattered like this. Something is moving well. Everybody is doing up, everybody is friends. You don't know what is it. No any radio station, everybody is talking well. Why? So good. Huh? And they don't say we are ruling somebody. But our president, where our guy? So what can you know? Something is very strange. Now if you all the drugs to buy drugs like a fake. Then when you look for a price something, everything should be alright. Something is to be alright now. If you don't people have borrow money. People have borrow money. You can borrow money. And the economy go good. Go good. God bless Nigeria.
Amen. God bless Nigeria. Thank you, Ade. That's Ade calling from Port Harcourt, and he's made a very valid point there. He's saying that there should be some media interaction between the president and his people. So what will happen? I think we're going to struggle to make sure we in KAFTAN secure President Tinubu one day, even if it's on the press, to come and talk, and then let people also call in, and he'll be able to have a feel of what the people are actually saying. It's on that note then we're just going to take our final word from Mecca all the way in Saudi Arabia. Let's have your final take for Nigerians. We'll start with you, Alhaji Nkaya. Let me hear your final word to Nigerians as we wrap it up on the press this morning. Alhaji, go ahead. Alhaji Nazir.
No, yes, I can hear you now.
Right, let's have your final word to Nigerians.
Yeah, my final words, I can say Nigerians are really doing good, exhibiting good behaviors. I can describe them as good ambassadors of Nigeria and Saudi Arabia. They are orderly, the only problem is that some of them are first timers. When you are coming for the first time, you may likely do things that are not necessarily according to how you do them. But as I can say, I will commend Nigerian continent. There are like some officials that are going around the accommodations of pilgrims and enlightening them. Telling them what is supposed to do, the do's and don'ts. And also very soon run what they call first come, first serve, or first come, first leave. On the 13th of this month, the contingent will start to come. That is an outbound air lift to Nigeria. Okay. Everybody will come back when that's in the next like 2 days. There will be a meeting that we call post-Arafat meeting in Mecca. So during that meeting, officials will provide all the details of what happened, the analysis, the number of deaths, the number of those that are not well, that are in the hospitals, the number of those that have some minor issues, and every information that we need to just provide them, and we action all the questions necessary. But we are very grateful. We don't thank all the stakeholders. We thank the Nigerian government for providing all the support for the successful 2025 at the exercise and the operation.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alhaji Nazir El-Hikaya, reaching us live from Mecca in Saudi Arabia. Can we get a last word from Alhaji Umar?
Well, everybody's glorified.
All right, thank you. Alhaji Umar is going to give us Alhaji Umar, give us your last blessing before you come back to Nigeria.
So, as my colleague said, first I would like to first thank with all KAFTAN colleagues, my colleague over there, starting from you and from the management down to all my colleagues. I miss everybody, and Secondly, I thank Allah, I thank God for participating this 2025 Hajj and representing my station here is a very proud for me. And we hope and we seek your prayers for our safe return back to Nigeria. Thank you for having us this morning from Saudi Arabia. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you indeed, Alhaji Umar Gombe. We are licensed to call him Alhaji now, a special correspondent from Mecca, Saudi Arabia. We want to really appreciate and give kudos to the Saudi Arabian government and kingdom. All the reports we're receiving are positive. We also want to say a very big thank you to you, Alhaji Umar, for all the insights you've given to us. Okay, that's where we're going to call the curtains. The curtains fall on this morning's edition of the Press on KAFTAN Television. A very big thank you to you, those behind the scene, the cameraman. I want to thank each and every one of you. Sam, I want to thank you. I want to thank you, Ephraim. I want to thank you, Bright. You are on the control system. Thank you to the editors. And a very big thank you to you for listening to us out there. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of this public holiday. Get ready for the next holiday. And in the meantime, have a wonderful week. I'm MIKKY. I'm signing out right here. God bless. Bye-bye.